a mindset that I think is paying off later, big times, is when you're starting to incorporate into your daily life, into the daily perspective and understanding that this world has not been created for you to only enjoy the peaceful aspects about it, regardless of where you are born, with which, let's say, prerequisites you've been born to this world. Everyone is going to face challenges. These are different challenges, but you are going to face them because living this life is ultimately connected with challenges. The question is, how are you now going to deal with it? What can you do knowing that you're going to walk this lifetime and you will have challenges? Mental challenges, physical challenges. There are no number answer. Prepare yourself. Prepare and condition the mind in such a way that you are first of all not starting to run away. There are two things in that, let's say, warrior mindset, if you call it like this, to be avoided. Let's go, let's go. Good morning, family. Rise and shine. Let me go ahead and get live. I'm actually going live on Facebook today. All right, family. Rise and shine. Another blessed and grateful day. Fired up. I had to start the morning off with one of my favorite monks. If you guys don't know who this is Shin Hin Yi. This is somebody I truly respect that's really been able to allow me to see things at a whole different level. And today, I'm going to dig deep into two pieces of the warrior mindset so you guys can get a little bit of an idea. And then I'm going to go ahead and dive into today's training from this GOAT of a new book that I've just got. So I'm fired up. I've got a great training for everybody today. It will all make sense, right? Understand that everything that's going on in life, I'm going to put a lot of it into perspective so you can see. We talk about it all the time. It's one thing to say, life is happening for us and not to us, but to really understand it, now I'm going to make it make sense today. So fired up. But before we go ahead and dive in, what is a little bit of gratitude that everybody is grateful for? Grateful to be alive, grateful for God, so grateful for the family, for the dream team. I'm grateful for the morning rituals. Once again, family, we are so consistent. And honestly, I couldn't be more proud for everybody being on the journey today. We are on day 172, right? Day strong, staying consistent, getting in the deep work, right? Really feeling the wish fulfilled as if it's already happened. Shane has been absolutely on fire, tapping into Kevin Trudeau. Your wish is your command. I was actually listening to CD number 7 this morning, really getting in the feeling. So I'm proud of you guys. Understand, give yourself a pat on the back because what we're doing is setting us up for the greatness to come in 2023. So great job. Let's go ahead and get into the training for today, right? The first thing, diving into the warrior mindset, right? There's two things that he actually talks about getting a little bit deeper into this video. And I'm sorry, family, I got a boat outside. They're actually cleaning. There's like thousands of lily pads. I'll actually show you guys real quick so you can see it. It's pretty crazy, right? I've got all of these lily pads out here, and the boat's got to actually go through and clean it out. So pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. Nature is very powerful, right? So check this out. The first thing, right? The first way of the warrior is going to be this, okay? Number one, not being able to run away from fear. Not being able to run away from fear. It sounds so simple, but at the end of the day, this is one of the biggest breakthroughs and breakthroughs that I've realized really leads to the transformation, right? It was so funny. Lady Boss Nikki this morning has been bawling her eyes out for the past 2 weeks. Why? Because she's been spending so much time doing the deep work, right? Really getting into her journal, really actually analyzing, why am I thinking the way I think? And it was funny today. We had a huge breakthrough moment, and she realized, I don't know how many of you guys, we all have traumas in our past. We all have things that we've gone through, things that we've grown through that have shaped us into who we are today, right? We have our positive attributes, and then we also have our fears that could have stemmed from being a child. Like for me, I'm terrified of roller coasters. I'm afraid of heights because when I was little, my grandfather, I'll never forget it. I forget what theme park it was, one of the theme parks, but he didn't tell me what ride we were going on. And it was this huge roller coaster, terrified me, and I never wanted to go on them again. Even till now, at 29 years old, I'm still afraid to get on roller coasters because of something that happened as a child. So I want you to know that what's happening in the past has shaped us in a good way, and also it's helped us build some characters that it's okay to be able to let go of, right? Because that might be the child you, but it's not the real you, right? How many things have we become fearful to as we started to grow and develop? I'll give you a perfect example, right? Every person is born with only two fears. We're afraid of heights and we're afraid with loud noises. Every other fear is developed over time and through experience, right? Most people are not born being afraid of public speaking. It happened over time because how many times we've been told no, because of how many times we might have failed at doing something that's new. So this is deep. This is really important when you understand this at a deeper level. But here's the thing. Most of the things, right, that we're fearful of, this is where the real growth is. Family, I wasn't good at anything when I first started. I was fearful of speaking. I was fearful of investing my money. I was fearful of actually posting because I didn't want other people to make fun of me. But now I understand, being able to look backwards, all of it begins to truly make sense. All the times where I would get up and I would speak at an event and nobody was there, that was practice preparing me for what's to come, being able to speak in front of hundreds and thousands of individuals, right? The trades that you actually got on, and you finally got your demo account going. You finally made your live account, and you lost a couple, but you learned from that, and those became lessons to be able to know and do better the next time you see the same pattern in the market. So everything that we're doing is about experience. Everything that we're doing is about time, right? Time. Things I must experience. But at the beginning, most of it, it's going to be fearful. It's going to be nerve-wracking. It's probably going to make you sweat a little bit. But this is the difference between most people. Most people are not willing to run at these fears. They'd rather hide in the shell. They'd rather listen to everybody else's opinions. They'd rather live an average life. If you're on this call, I believe you're not destined to go ahead and be average. In fact, if you're breathing, I know you're not destined to be average. That's for a fact. The only difference is some people finally get to a realization and understand it, and some people let the birds get to them their whole lives. You're never going to amount to anything. You're never going to be able to make it happen. You failed so many times. That's who you are. Well, family, that's not your identity. That's not really you. That's why I tell everybody coming into 2023, I don't care what's happened in your past. We all have insane stories that have led us here today. But here's what I know. It doesn't matter where you've been. It doesn't matter where you're at. All that matters is where we're going. We can make in 1 year, this year, what we just did in the past decade of our life. I promise you. How do I did it. Family, in 2017, I made in 1 year what I would go make in 10, 20 years. Well, some people would go work 40 years to make in a lifetime. It happened in 1 year. So I'm not here to boast. I'm not here to brag. I'm here to impress upon you. These are things that I've really experienced. I've experienced making 6 figures in a week at one point in time, right? But at the same time, here's what's funny about money, right? It'll all make sense one day. Guess what happened? That money was blown. I made it fast, but you know what's funny? You can lose it just as fast. So this was lessons, right? The title of today's topic is "It Will All Make Sense Eventually," right? I wasn't ready to handle that type of money. I wasn't ready for that type of account. So we don't get in life what we want. We get what is that we deserve. Guess what that made me do? That made me go get 10 times back more serious in learning about personal development, learning about the charts, learning about psychology, really beating out my craft because I wanted to master it. And as I started learning how to trade, as I started, advancing in Forex, then I got serious with Forex. Then I got into crypto, and then I dove into different streams. Now we have e-commerce. So at the end of the day, family, understand you can take any one of these to a whole different level if you're willing to really get serious and dive in and do the deep work, right? It might not make sense at the beginning, the blown accounts, right? Losing a couple trades, putting out countless products and none of them get any sales. But guess what that's leading to? That's leading to more experience. That's leading to more time in the game. Now you can go help out the newest person that was just like you when you first started out. And how amazing is that? How many things that you do well at one point in time that you weren't very good at the beginning? It might have made you nervous, in fact, doing it. Probably most of us at our first job, it was nerve-wracking doing that thing, whatever the job was. But as you started getting the feel, as you started to go ahead and build your flow, now you can do it second nature. You don't even have to think about it. Success in business is the same way. All it is reps. All it is continuously running at that fear. Family, for most people, public speaking, the fear never goes away. I still feel it when I speak. The only difference is I've learned to channel it into two things. Being nervous is the exact same thing as being excited. So anytime that you're nervous, tell yourself, I'm not nervous, I'm excited, because your hands and your armpits both sweat, right? They shake. It's the same emotions. It's just being able to see a little bit different. So every time you were fearful, there's a real fear and there's a fear that allows us to grow. So next time you feel that fear, you're going to feel it today. Understand that you can tap in, you can utilize that. And the second part of the way of the warrior is going to be honest with ourselves, okay? Be honest with ourselves. We all have so many things going on with life right now. I know that. But here's what I also know. It's like that for a reason. This situation is happening to us in our life for a reason. There's a lesson, there's a virtue, there's a value that can be learned from these circumstances right here. And now I'm going to go ahead and get into the book because I'm going to prove it to you. Everybody says, everything happens for a reason. I truly believe that, and I live by that. You're not going to notice it until certain things happen in your life. You're not going to notice it at the time, but when you look back, it's going to eventually make sense. My sister passed away at 28 years old from cancer, auditioning to be a Denver Broncos cheerleader. So at the time, for the longest time, I always said, how can that make sense? How does everything happen for a reason if such terrible things could happen to pure people? But she was the light. She was the example. She's my protector. She's now my angel to be able to look over me. I don't have to live in fear every day anymore. Family, I dealt with alcoholic family. I dealt with so many things, right? Seeing drugs, seeing needles at such a young age. That's why I believe I was designed to do what I do, to be able to give back, to be able to help somebody. Because I'm an empath, probably just like a lot of you. I feel others' emotions. And whatever feeling somebody's going through, I've probably already experienced that, right? Being shameful, having envy, depression, anxiety, right? All of these feelings, I've experienced them at such a deep level. That's why I can feel others when they tell me about their stories on the phone. But most importantly, I know what it's like to get on the other side. I know what it's like to have peace of mind. I know what it's like to have all these storms going on in life and be able to go ahead and be the eye in the middle of it and be able to calm everything down and just be able to breathe. But now looking back at it, I can see how everything happens for a reason. That's why I have the tagline Impact 1 Billion, because my purpose went from just existing to actually leaving an imprint, a positive imprint. So when you really realize that everything that you've gone through, everything you've grown through has helped build your shield, has helped build you into who you are to become. So these are the two ways of the warrior, right? If you've ever seen a monk mind, if you've ever understand why a warrior is so powerful, these are two things that they know. Number one, they run at fear. Number two, they're always honest with themselves. So let's go ahead and dive into it for today. You ready? Epictetus, okay? Check this out. He says, whenever you find yourself blaming Providence, turn it around in your mind and you will see what has happened is keeping with reason, okay? Part of the reason we fight against the things that happen is that we're so focused on our plan that we forget that there might be a bigger plan that we don't know about. It is not the case that plenty of times something we thought was a disaster turned out to be, with a package of time, a lucky break. We also forget that we're not the only people who matter and that our loss might be somebody else's gain. This is getting deep right here. The sense of being wrong is a simple awareness problem. We need to remember that all things are guided by reason, but that is a vast and universal reason that we cannot always see. That's the surprise. A hurricane was the result of a butterfly flapping its wings a hemisphere away, or the misfortune that we've experienced is simply the prelude to a pleasant and inviolable future. Woo! When I read this line this morning, family, it was like somebody peeled my muffin cap off, took my brain, threw it out, and gave it back and sealed it back up. Let me give that last two sentences to you again real quick. You ready? The sense of being wrong is a simple awareness problem. We need to remember that all things are guided by reason, but that it is a vast and universal reason that we cannot always see. That's the surprise. Hurricane was a result of a butterfly flapping its wings a hemispheres away, or the misfortune that we've experienced is simply the prelude to a pleasant and inviolable future. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but you can see it right here. I literally just had a hurricane, right? So Facebook, you guys can see I just had a hurricane sweep off my entire lanai, right? My whole pool cage is gone. And the way to put that's like a butterfly flapping its wings a hemisphere away. So being able to look at it in a different light, or how about the other side, right? When something detrimental happens, this could be a prelude to one of the greatest achievements that we've ever had. That's why when you study success, when you study the greats, a lot of them, they had their biggest breakdown before they had their biggest break free, their biggest breakthrough, right? Think about that. They had their biggest breakdown before they had their biggest breakthrough. Go look at Oprah Winfrey's story. Go look at Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan pretty much got cut from his basketball team. J.K. Rowling didn't actually write Harry Potter until she was 52 years old, right? With countless and thousands of books that got constantly rejected. But that gave her the passion, that gave her the desire to really go out and create something great. And that led to one of the greatest books that was ever written inside of that niche. So for me, family, I became infatuated with studying the greats, and that's what I've realized. They run at their fears, and they're always honest with themselves, right? I love that. So deep. So here's how it finishes for the section. You ready? Watch this. Here's what he says. Self-deception is our enemy, right? Nothing is good, nothing is bad. It is what we make it. It's even inside of this book. You hear it all the time, but it's even right here. So everything comes down to perception. So whatever it is that we're going through right now, you can either see this as a hindrance, we can see this as slack, we can see this as weight, or we can see it as this is the breakdown that's going to allow me to lead to the break free inside of my life. Shane is about to have to literally move out of the state. He's going to have to pretty much go out of the state for the next couple months to go ahead and take care of his family, Shane and Selena, right? A situation that nobody could have predicted, that curveball that nobody expected. But you see, this is life. And part of the audio that I was playing this morning, he talks about, here's something that's important for everybody to know as a warrior. Life is not built to be all sunshine, all rainbows, and happiness and joy all the time. That's just being honest. You know why? Because if it was like that, there would be no such thing as those words. That's why the law of polarity has to exist. We would never be able to experience happiness without knowing what sadness feels like. You would never know what being alone feels like until you've actually had the love and the presence of somebody that you're actually close to. You see, everything takes an opposite. I had to really appreciate life when I was sleeping in my car, right? Being a D1 athlete, not having to pay for anything. I had loans. I didn't have to work. Guess what? There was a polar opposite that I had to learn. Getting out of school into the real world, right? If you want to go out and get what you desire, if you have these big dreams, you have to go out and make it happen. Nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody's just going to come here, slap it in your hand, just give it to you. We don't, at the end of the day, success doesn't chase us. We have to go chase success. So this is one of the biggest breakthroughs that I've been able to make after one of my biggest breakdowns that I've experienced in 2014, 2015, getting out of college. So family, I know without a doubt, if you can understand this, this is huge. This is it. So go out, attack your greatness. Success is waiting for everybody. It just comes to getting in harmony and getting alignment and frequency with what it is that we desire. So family, I believe it's already done. The second that you put it on paper, the second that we speak it, the future's here. I don't know if you know that or not. The second that we write, the second that we speak something, that's the future. The future's now here. So when I write something, when we speak our goals, when we speak it's already done. When I say a prayer, it's already done. I don't have to say the prayer and get back off and go worry, because I understand what we're going through. It's all going to make sense. Family, I told you I've been in the hospital almost every day since December 21st. You don't know how much I'm really growing through off of these calls. I've really been having to deal with a lot. But I understand this is building the defined dreams that is yet to become. This is sharpening the sword. And I believe it's the same thing for you. So family, I love you. I appreciate you. Understand this is setting us up for who it is that we're becoming and who it is that we already are. So I appreciate you, family. I'm grateful for you. And I know your greatness is right as close to our skin. And we are tapping in it. We are stepping in it. We are feeling it all year 2023. It is already done. Your congratulations letter that you guys wrote, right? Hopefully you guys took the time to go ahead and write your letter to yourself. Go back. Hold on. Where is it? Here we go. Okay. Go back and read this today and get in the feeling. Get in the feeling. Go back and read your congratulations letter to yourself today. What you want your body to look like, your finances, your relationship with God, your family, seeing them healed, seeing them healthy and happy. Get in that feeling and feel it as if it's already done, because it is. So I love you, fam. That is my training for everybody today. I'm excited. I'm blessed and grateful to be on this journey, to be a witness of your greatness. You got any value from today? Go ahead and slap the like button. Drop some threes down below. This is the week right here. You're going to see a lot of momentum, a lot of breakthroughs coming into this January, February, and March, leading into March Madness. This weekend is Break the Code, family. Literally about to get around a lot of 1% individuals. Grant Cardone, Stormy Wellington, the top lady boss inside of the industry, right? Rob Deerdeck, Gary Brecka, one of the top health professionals that's walking on planet Earth right now. So you talk about a lot of value, a lot of sauce. I'm about to go grab and bring back to the family. Listen, I'm about to fill up notebooks. I'm about to bring all of this back to everybody. Lady Boss Nikki and I are taking the trip. So I love you, fam. If anybody else wants to go, shoot me a message, shoot me a DM. It is going down this weekend from the 20th to the 22nd. I love you, fam. It is your favorite entrepreneur, Define Dreams. Remember, you can be, do, and have anything that you can hold in your mind. You can hold it right here in your hand. I love you, family. Go out and have an abundant day. Have a great day. And I will see you tomorrow on another episode with Rise and Shine with Define. Let's grow. Dream Team. It's game time.